Hello, my lovely little titans. I'll wait a little bit. Let everybody get a chance to come in. I'll be right back. If anybody's here. Still here. Hi, Alicia. I'll be right back. Hello, Asher. Hi, Blue. Hopefully you can hear me. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing okay. I'll just cooperate. Sure. All right. All right. A quick recap from last time. We finished Scrum, our lovely little voodoo doll. We finished her. She's wonderful, gorgeous. And I've been okay, Alicia. How about you? And today we are going to work on, it looks like the Sack Kid from Halloween movies, or whatever those scary movies are. I think he looks adorable. So we're going to start with him. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Asher. It's very unfortunate. I'm sorry. My little Titan is doing excellent right now. She's asleep. What time is it where I am? It's 9:35. 9:34. 9:35. I have no idea why I looked at my clock when I have a clock right in the upper left-hand corner of my screen. Well, I guess it's a positive that you're going to see your family. That's at least a positive. even if the circumstances are definitely less than ideal. Y'all want to throw back like 20 years? Um, my current interest, along with, my usual, my new one that I've added to my ever-growing collection has been Merlin. I don't know if any of you guys remember Merlin, that lovely show on Sci-Fi that was about Arthur Pendragon and Merlin from the Myths. Really good show. I remember sitting and watching an entire marathon of it on Sci-Fi. I think Sci-Fi was still a thing. I don't know if the channel Sci-Fi is even a thing anymore. Well, I'm glad you're able to go see your family, Asher, and congratulations, Alicia, for being strong enough to come out. I know that is an incredibly difficult thing, and all the power to you for being able to do that for yourself. What show did you fall back into, Asher? Am I with the right color? No. Okay. We're gonna pray that this works. Wrong color. Lolly Rock? What the hell is Lolly Rock? Did I get it that close? I'm so confused. I'm just gonna use this one because I like this one. My husband, as far as I know, he's okay. Loved it when I was 12 and recently found again. Yeah, nice. I always loved getting back into things that I liked when I was younger. It always makes it so new and interesting when you can view it through the eyes of an adult. And then you either go, oh, wow, this was better than I remember. You go, this is just as good as I remember. Or you go, why did I like this in the first place? You ever seen The Dragon Prince? Um, can't say I have. Maybe I did. Maybe I knew it under a different name. I don't know. Yep. Yep. I love that. I love when you can go back to a show and appreciate the art of it, not just the content of it. The content will always usually be pretty good, but then you can go back and be like, oh, their style is amazing here. And the artwork was so ahead of its time. It's like going back and watching old Disney movies, like the lesser appreciated ones like Treasure Planet and Atlantis. Like, those are some bomb ass um, those are some bomb ass movies, and the fact that they didn't weren't more popular is just a damn shame. Is it hot where I am? Yeah. Why do you ask? I think it's hot everywhere, honestly. And poor Asher's going to be melting in Alabama. I have no idea if I'm doing this correctly, if I'm doing this well or not. I'm just going to go with it. So tempted to draw myself in an art style. Do it! Absolutely do it. And then let me know where I can find it, because I'd like to see it. So hot in England. Yeah, a friend of mine, I have a friend in England, she was telling me about it. She said it's just too miserable to do anything. And apparently add to that the tensions of the football game, and does not make for a fun weekend for her. Can't really relate, because I don't do the football they do, but felt bad for her anyway. Well, I hope you feel better soon then. Okay, just a little thing more orange. An orange. There's so little difference in these oranges. Legit, you can't hardly tell. This one is the darker one. I swear to God, I'm going colorblind or something. How are your Aaron and Levi videos doing? Analytic wise, or just me making them wise? Everybody's birthday, drawing them. Nice. I'm sure you'd love it. It would have been awesome if my sister. My sister is a really good artist. She can doodle and it looks amazing. If she would have drawn something for me, she did a couple times, but I mean like more than that. It would have been cool to get like a full commission or something off of her. She doesn't draw much, which is unfortunate because she's a really good artist and she should do it more. And if you're watching, sister, do it. How's your family doing? Good. Drunk people, whether it be for them or for someone else. No, that's fair. I wish I could say that about like my writing. If I don't have something to write for, I don't write. Unfortunately, my writing has different ideas, and it's like, oh, you're gonna get this random plot bunny and not be able to do anything else except write this for like a week. And so that's what I did. I got a random plot bunny, and I have not been able to write anything really since. You can ask Wolf. I have been bothering her all week to read my stuff. You can ask another one of my friends who's on fanfic. He's like Jedi Knight Ryan or something his name is. And I've been sending him stuff. Same with my other friend. Her name is Sparkly Corian. None of these people, except for Wolf, are on YouTube. They're all through fanfic.net. Let's just still show up. There's a banana. All right, I have finished little pumpkin head. Recently got a Demon Slayer manga coloring book. Very nice, very nice, very nice. I have an Attack on Titan one I have barely touched. Now I have to figure out where these go. My little girlfriend. Yes, she is. I mean, she's going to turn 5 in a few months, so that right there is crazy. Hmm. My current plot bunny. Oh, there's kind of two. One I literally wrote for a week straight, could not do anything else. I think I've written like 30,000 words for it. Is for Dragon Age Origins, and then the other one is for Merlin. That one I'm still formulating it, but I have scenes that keep popping up, and I just write down the scenes because I'm like, I don't really want to forget these, and I want to incorporate them at some point. Ooh, nice, Alicia, nice. I turn 30 in 3.5 months. 3.5 months. My birthday. A month ago, I got going back in time. Nice. Very cool. I am trying to figure out what to do for this little guy. I'm going to do red. Turn 20 in May. Congratulations. Yeah. Interested in turning 30. I have an idea for what I want to do for 30. I feel like you're not really an adult until after 25, because after 25, things just slip into place in your head, and you're like, oh, yeah, I really was an idiot. That really didn't matter. I really do feel mature. Like, it's really weird. I can, honest to God, say after, can't even say it was after my daughter. After I turned 25, shit just like completely clicked in my brain, and I wasn't much of an idiot after 25. It was a nice feeling to realize I wasn't as big of an idiot as I had been. But then you have to live with the soul crushing feeling of realizing you were an idiot prior to 25, and all the people you affected, and then you're like, oh, that was not fun. That part's not fun. That realization was not fun. But you learn not to do it again. And then apparently by the time you hit your 70s, your filter's completely gone, so it doesn't matter. You're going to say whatever you want. Not feel bad about it. Not very good at adulting. Also, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, Asher. It's never nice to be pushed to do that, especially when you're not ready. You're such a little bleed through. It's astonishing. I'm doing this fine, but something great is calling out to me to do this. Yep, I'm sure you'll be fine. I mean, I make it sound scary. It's not that scary. Turning 25 is fine. Just like turning 30 is fine. Although there are some people who will disagree with me on that one. I see nothing wrong with turning 30. Parents are weird like that. They try to do the best they can, and then it turns out to not be that great. Speaking as a parent myself, I'm probably doing the same thing. I'm trying to do my best by my daughter, but I'm sure she'll blame me for something growing up when she's grown up, saying I didn't do XYZ for her. But that's apparently pretty normal for kids to do, so I'm not too worried. I think I'll count it as a good job if I raise you to be a decent human being. Like, when do you count it as a good job as a parent? Like, when they live to see the 18? When they live to see 21? Who knows? When they still call you? I don't know. What is the benchmark of good parenting, in y'all's opinion? I actually read a quote somewhere. It's like, you turn into the person you needed when you were like a kid or something. You turn into the person that would have helped you, saved you, whatever, when you were a kid. Like, that's a really cool idea, that we grew into who we needed. Then maybe we don't make as many mistakes or perceived mistakes. I don't remember. Bad. If Neverland were real, would I go for a day? Yeah, I'd go. Why not? I think it would be fun. Why not go and be a kid for a day? It won't happen again. Sorry about your stepdad, Ashley. That sounds rough. No responsibility. That's not it. I mean, that would be a cool part of it, but I mean, honest to God, day-to-day adult life, you don't really have that much responsibility if you think about it. Like, unless you have a kid, which I do, you really don't have that much day-to-day. Pretty simple taking care of yourself. I've done it. It's not that bad. I like taking care of myself. I love taking care of my daughter. It's just easier to run into myself because I don't have to think like 6 steps ahead. Do you know what it's like to play 4D chess all the time? It's not as fun as it sounds. And after a while, it stops being a badass thing and starts just being a bad thing. Because you're thinking so far ahead, you can't think for the moment, and you're like, oh crap, what did I forget now? That would be awesome, Asher. Yes, when you're a parent, you're playing like 4D chess, 6 moves ahead of where you need to be. Not easy. And the challenge quickly becomes a bore. Not that there's never no new challenges, it's just there's nothing but challenges. Because you think you have, let's say, lunch planned, and then your child decides that day, in that moment, they do not like the food that they wanted, that they asked you for lunch. Even though they have asked for that food for an entire week straight and eaten it every time, in that one particular moment, they don't like that food. And no matter how much you try to say, oh, you do like it, oh, you have liked it, they refuse to believe you as if you were lying to them. And so they do not go along with it, and you have to come up with something else. And then 9 times out of 10, you don't have anything else for them that they would like. That moment, what they would like is something completely different that you don't have in your pantry, and then you're just like, how am I doing this? Me and my partner have been along. Oh, that's wonderful, Asher. I'd rather read minds. The absolute fun that would entail. And all the miscommunications it would knock down. That's a good reason, Asher. It's like, I know, daughter's thinking. She's pretty vocal with what she's thinking, so I don't have to worry about that, thank God. Oh, Wolf, I'm sorry, we had to. You have the adult responsibility of working. We're discussing whether we want to have the power to read minds or the power to fly. I said I'd like to read minds. Asher says they would like to have the ability to fly so they could see their partner, which is awesome. Alicia, did you say what you wanted yet? Also, if you guys see me rub my eyes, it's not because I'm tired or anything. If my contacts are being funny, because I apparently forget to blink. Oh, you'd want to fly? Nice, Alicia. Yes, I apparently forget to blink. Ooh, Wolf, now you can read the stuff I sent you. I told everybody I've been bugging you with some of my plot bunnies. Progress. I don't know. How you guys feeling the gray umbrella? Too late to change, but I think it looks adorable. Be free and get to places faster. I mean, logically, yes, but it's like you fly in crappy weather or something. It'd be terrible. And how high would you fly? Like airplane high, like 30,000 feet high, or lower? Well, thank you, Alicia. Y'all know what I'm doing to those toadstools. Sorry, adult responsibilities come in the way. Don't they always, though? Y'all, these toadstools, the ones with the spots, are going to be poisonous. So, just so you know. But that's what this is about. This is about cute, creepy, cute. And what's creepier and cuter than poisonous mushrooms? I mean, that's kind of where it needs to be, Asher. You kind of need to be able to trust your partner. And if you trust them more than family, that's a good sign. Because you already have a baseline for poor trust, so now you have a bar for higher trust. Finding that type of weather. More like How to Train Your Dragon Night Fury High. Yeah, but then you're still susceptible to the weather. That's why the airplanes fly at 30,000 feet. Yeah, it's okay. I don't know if you guys have ever. Oh no, you're good, Asher. You're perfectly fine. If you guys have ever seen like where people who hello rainbow, where people who fly like those little planes, not like the little like the little plane, little planes that the charter planes that go like I don't know what do you want to call them like they're tiny. They fit like not less than 10 people. And they're usually what people learn to fly in first and then they progress up higher. But anyway, if you hear about those crashing, it's usually because it's weather related because they're so low and they're not supposed to fly in conditions that are considered adverse weather. I don't know if how many of y'all live near Tennessee, but there was some lady there. She ran some kind of weight loss cult or God loved you if you lost weight. Don't ask me the logic. I don't care for the logic. I watched the documentary for the cult aspect. Anyway, her second husband was the dude who played Tarzan in the old movies, like from the 80s, 90s. Um, he was flying. He flew one of those little biplanes, and he flew into adverse weather, and it crashed and killed all of them. So, if you ever hear about those incidents, that's why it happens. Is because they fly in crappy weather they're not skilled for, and they die. My child is doing great. Thank you for asking, Rainbow. So this is why I just tell you reconsider flying if you're not like flying as a power. If you're not flying about as high as Superman does. By the way, if you choose flying as a superpower, no capes. No capes. These are supposed to be brighter red, but this is a gray day, so maybe they're going to be a little darker. You're absolutely right, Asher. Flying scares me. Fair enough, fair enough. Um, I mean, I don't know how it works anymore. They made Cedric go evil in the cursed child, which was the curse of the cursed child is a fact that exists. Um, Terrible, absolutely terrible. I own it. I regret buying it. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Well, thank you. You're my people. But it's a valid thing. I mean, think about it. We see all these superheroes with capes, and yet Edna makes the best argument for why you should never have a cape. I think the only one who could get away with not having with having a cape is Superman. Um, just because um, the cape would rip before it hurt him. That's because he's basically invulnerable. If you could meet an actor, who would you want to meet? Oh, it's actually kind of a loaded question. Hmm. If I could meet any actor, who would it want? Today, I would have to say Jensen Ackles. That's who I would pick today. And Wolf's gonna go. I knew it. I mean, I'm sure your partner would want to use it to get other places. I mean, you could travel then once you got to them. Oh, there's what it is. Their copycat power, I can see power and use it whenever I like. I like that, Wolf. I really like that. Copycat power. I love that. Isn't that a thing somewhere? I can't remember who had it. Rogue, technically, from X-Men. She could not technically copy it, but she could take it for a little bit and use it. So technically yes, technically no. Dove Cameron. Nice. She seems hilarious in like a odd way. And I don't mean in a bad way. I mean just like her sense of humor would probably be so not what you're expecting it to be. And she makes great comments. I've seen some of her interviews and she's like, I've got a Pinterest and I've got like the following me for my stuff and you listen to the names, it's like this is actually pretty good. Pretty clever. Tom Holland or Zendaya. Nice. Oh, these are good choices, people. Well, I mean, you can change the future based on going back in time. So you can just keep going back into the past until you get the future, I guess technically the present you want. I had no idea why I did that. Very cool, Rainbow. That's awesome. Congratulations. How was it? Very cool. Very cool. Did you have to pay to meet them? Is it like typical con rolls where you have to pay to meet people, or were you like backstage and got free pictures with people? To pay bills and this. Nice. Damn, you went to a cheaper con than I've ever been. Would I rather turn into a lion or a wolf? Wolf. 100% wolf. I'm gonna turn this giant one red. Wolf. Wolfie Woods. Y'all with Instagram should go check out my Instagram. If you already, I do have an Instagram. I'm going to be posting cosplay pictures and stuff up there. It is currently set to private just so I can kind of keep an eye out on who's wanting requests and stuff, so I don't accidentally add bots or catfish or something like that. It's under my name. Use Moonsword 1994. So check it out. I've got a few things posted up there. Nothing major yet. I'm working on that, but I do have some cute stuff. Wolf is part of it. She can attest to it. It's ridiculous but cute. I made poison mushrooms. Thank you, Asher. Thank you. All right, these two. These ones from the original Wonka. Nice. I'm gonna put some eye drops in that. Just give me 1 second. Who's your favorite Disney villain? Ooh, that's a good one. It's like a tie between Maleficent and Ursula. Both of them are freaking awesome. Would you rather hold a snake or a spider? What kind of snake? Python? Yeah. Granny watched one of the favorite movies, Twister. Favorite villain, Hades. I mean, Hades isn't bad. He just, I know it's Disney, but I like him too much in mythology to think of him as like an actual villain. So, and plus, Maleficent and Ursula are just freaking badass. Yeah. So I don't know if any of y'all watch Great British Bake Off on Netflix. I'm like, it's like my comfort show. Um, I'm on like season, I guess it would technically be season 20 series. It's series 10 in the new collection. Spoilers for it. Um, the chick who wins is a freaking biochemist who used to break down DNA. Like, I'm like, where do you find the time to not only win a national baking championship, but also be a biochemist? Like, what the way to make people feel inadequate. I agree, man. I think Disney watched him and made him a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. Zeus is very much the bad. And Hades from Percy Jackson. Even then, he's not the villain. Okay, who do you think is the worst villain? Mother Gothel. Look, Scar chased off Simba and kind of gave him a fair shot at life. Mother Gothel didn't give Rapunzel a chance at all. Yeah, there's a good book series and a good movie series. Yeah, but Rainbow, if you watch the Tangled series, you learn that Mother Gothel abandoned her own child in favor of Rapunzel. No, he did not kill his brother. Technically, the wildebeest in that. I mean, there's a lot of technicalities when it comes to Scar, so I don't know. He's just not as villainous. Like, he's creepy, and he made the hyenas into the Third Reich. But I don't know. I'm like, he's not that big of a villain to me. And they're like retconning him a bit in the new Mufasa series that's coming out somehow. I should have the series on if I didn't know that she abandoned her own child, which is pretty awful, but she did to grow up in the past. Yeah, but I mean, that poor child ended up with so much trauma that she didn't know what to do with herself. The thing do so much favorite song is Ready Though. Love that song. I agree. Yeah, if I was a brat, Scary's one. Eh. Again, I'm just like, you know what? It's just Hamlet with lions. Once I learned that was just Hamlet with lions, I was not for me. And then the second one is just Romeo and Juliet, and then Lion King 1.5, which is arguably the superior film. Um, Shakespeare apparently wrote a short story featuring some of the side characters from Romeo and Juliet, and that's what that one's based on. And I'm like, you know what? We needed more info on the players in Romeo and Juliet. We got too much info dumping for it to make sense. For us to have a fleshed out view of these people. Like, why do I care if Mercutio died? Spoilers, I guess, if you haven't had high school. Or at least if you haven't been in American high school. I don't know if Wolf got that education. I was expecting Disney to put left some things there. And I thought that was just odd in general. I'm like, why are we hooking the villains up? Like, I don't know why. That just seemed like such a weird decision to me. Like, why? You know what they should have done, Asher? And this is just because I took my daughter to see the Broadway version. Instead of redo like instead of like they still could have done live action, whatever, but they should have just done the Broadway script. Do you want to know why? Because the Broadway version is so much better than the animated version. Oh my god, it is so fucking dark. Like, oh my god, so dark, so fucking dark. There's this song that Ursula sings because in the Broadway musical, Ursula is Triton's sister, right? So it makes her Ariel's aunt. Ursula sings this song called Daddy's Little Angel or something, and she describes how she killed her 6 older sisters. It was insane. I was just like, I was sitting there and I'm like, this would have been a way better version of the live action. Like, they still could have done what they did with the live action, but they should have made Ursula darker. Like, they should have gone this full. They should have done this full Ursula backstory. Yes, yes, Ursula was Triton's sister and then ended up murdering her 6 older siblings, so she had a chance at the title of being his heir. And as she put it, he gave his mentally unstable daughter very unstable powers, which is what that necklace was. So the necklace and the trident are symbols of power in Atlantica. I actually saw a comic where they drew Ursula and Triton as siblings. They were the only ones. And how, when they came of age, he got the trident, she got the necklace, and it was pretty cool. I wish that was the truth. Grimm brothers. Yep. But Little Mermaid is Hans Christian Andersen, and that one was much sadder. I mean, we could have gone that dark. We could have had it where Ursula was her evil aunt who murdered her family, and then Little Mermaid turns to sea foam. Why not? We could have gone full dark. Let's do that. I want that. Oh, don't wish that rainbow. They probably will. And it'll be bad. It'll be terrible. But I wish for I wish they go full dark. I want full dark fairy tales. Like, bring back the blood, the guts, the gore. Bring back the questionable themes. Bring it all back. Except Sleeping Beauty. Fuck that one. That one is so messed up. I wouldn't ever watch that. Nope. Not in a million years. I'm not saying Maleficent is whatever. I'm saying by what the darkest version of Sleeping Beauty. Fuck that. No. Here's where we're at. Never mind. Never mind what, Asher. Ooh, there's tea. I don't know whether that was dumb or not. Thank you, Wolf. Yeah, the Maleficent one was great. I actually really enjoyed the first Maleficent one. I didn't see the second one. I was like, sequels. I'm always iffy on the sequels. But the first Maleficent, oh, I ate that shit up. I still love it. I'm like, this is the best retcon they've done. I did know that, Rainbow. I thought that was kind of sweet in a weird way. I was like, oh, the only one that could stand to be around Angelina Jolie dressed up like that is her own daughter. That was just so sweet. It just fit so well. Yes, I've seen Once Upon a Time. I was so confused. And I don't mean I hated Once Upon a Time. I was just like very confused. Like, why were we trying to add elements of the other fairy? Like, why was the beast Rumpelstiltskin? Or why was Rumpelstiltskin like the son or whatever Peter fucking Pan? Like, some of that shit got weird. Like, it started off with a very strong premise in the first season or two, and then it went very weird. Just didn't get the ending. Don't worry. I mean, yes, arguably there is some dark stuff in there. Not disagreeing. I know that there is some dark stuff in there. Um, I would actually say Grimm Brothers or Grimm or whatever you want to call it, the TV show might have been a little darker than that, just because it was allowed to be. But that's just me. Nice, nice, Asher. I think the creators got lost. I think the creators got a little ahead of themselves. To be honest with you, I think they were too ambitious, and then they forgot where they were going with it. Because I mean, how many times can the curse come back? I get that sometimes it takes a lot to break magic, but I'd say 6 or 7 seasons is a little ridiculous. You could easily like break it in 3 seasons, make it make sense, end on a high note, and then do spin-off series. And then the spin-off series could have more people, it can be a little more convoluted. Like it just like spice it up here, people. We didn't have to shove like 8 different storylines into one show. Although bisexual Mulan falling for Sleeping Beauty was pretty fucking awesome. Writer for chicken shits, but whatever. I'm gonna go because something. Nope, you're good. Bye, Rainbow. Also, why would they pass on the story to new character son? I don't understand that part. Right, I know. But have a good night, Rainbow. Again, congratulations on going to con as a cosplay guest. That's awesome. Oh my god, my eyes. That was dark. Arguably. I mean, we could have had. I mean, yeah, they could have just done a couple of seasons of what's her name, Emma, with Captain Hook, end with them hooking up, and then okay. Sorry, Rainbow. Again, I'm not arguing that they weren't a cute couple. I'm just like, did we need all that? Apparently, she was supposed to get with the Mad Hatter, played by Sebastian Stan, and then Sebastian Stan got the offer to be in Marvel, and he said bye, and they brought Hook in. Which I would argue is probably the better idea. Disney cut out 2 seasons. Oh, God. They cut out 2 seasons, and that's what you were left with? I would ask for my money back to me. I wish, and this is going to sound stupid, but I wish they would bring back shows like they used to do. Like, I wish we had sci-fi still. I wish we had, um, I wish we had those shows on sci-fi with like Battlestar Galactica and Firefly, especially Firefly, and Merlin, and um, oh God, there were other ones that I watched. I can't remember all of them now, but there were oh, Stargate Issue One. I wish we had those shows back. Like, I'm all for reality-esque TV shows. Kinda. Just give me some fantasy, and not just to watch them dry hump on everything. God, God, no Game of Thrones, please. I'm sure it's integral to the plot somewhere, but not integral to my entertainment. Integral to the plot, but not my entertainment. Does it say if they started had them stand alone about that? Oh, I think that had more to do with the fact that Disney just didn't want Netflix to have it because they were moving it over to Hulu and all that. Now that I think about it, you can't watch a lot of sci-fi stuff anywhere. Like, I want Face Off. Give me Face Off. I want Face Off back. I love that show. Just give me the whole series. Netflix has 2 seasons, and I'm like, give me more. I need more. I would rather sit and watch hours of Face Off than half an hour of some of the new crap that's coming out. That show introduced me to so much about practical effects in the movie industry and everything, and it kind of encouraged me to do what I do with cosplay. And I'm just like, why can't we have that back? That showcased real talent. These people actually had to have talent to be in this show. Because not only did they have to sketch out their designs, they had to mold out their designs, they had to fabricate and everything. It was a full on production. And you just don't see that anymore. You don't see that type of quality on shows anymore. You can even argue with cooking shows. Like, they did a whole series where you watch Selena Gomez. Um, and I'm not dissing on Selena Gomez at all. But I'm just like, you could watch a whole series with Selena Gomez inviting celebrity chefs into her house, and they cook for her, and they're like teaching her how to cook. And it's like, why do I want to watch Selena Gomez learn how to cook? Oh, nice, Alicia. It's like, why do I want to watch 2 seasons? And it is like 2 seasons of Selena Gomez learning how to cook when I could watch 2 seasons of somebody with actual talent doing something that's actually cool. Nice. You only hated that Milan was bi. I mean, technically, Shang is also bisexual. I thought that was cool when I figured it out. I was like, oh, hey, look, Disney did it, and we didn't make a big deal about it, and it was awesome. Just like life should be. Everybody can be who they are, and we don't make a big deal about it, one way or the other. It just is, and we're all awesome for it. I think it was just, I was like, Sleeping Beauty? That is a really interesting idea. And then the cowards didn't go anywhere with it. You want to know what I learned? If y'all want to watch a queer show that was not intended to be queer bait at all, it was actually intended to be full on queer, the network just got in their way, watch Merlin. It is on their DVD documentary, commentary, and it's a show written by women, I believe. They intended for Arthur and Merlin to be gay for each other. That was fully intentional, and the actors played it that way. Um, the writers fully intended for it to be perceived as romantic. Bradley James and Colin Morgan played it that way, and then Sci-Fi was too shit to let it go through. Like at the end, because I can't even say if it's spoiler, because if you've ever read the Legends of Arthur, you know how it ends. Um, instead of Arthur's final words to Merlin, phrase it like that, being "thank you," Bradley said, "I love you," and I'm like, why did they have to be so chicken shit about it? Seriously, why do we have to be so chicken shit about it? Like the same thing with Castiel and Dean. Why did we have to be so chicken shit about it? It makes literally no sense to me. I'm not saying do it because the fans want it. I'm saying do it because it makes sense narratively. Like if your two male leads or your two female leads have better chemistry than with your heterosexual, like the heterosexual intended love interest, just go with it. Or just go with the chemistry. Go where the chemistry tells you. Don't go where the writing tells you. I saw that actually. They don't even dance. They like it almost could be played off as a joke. Like I guess in older movies where that would happen, where they would be too into it and then they'd end up switching. It kind of reminded me of what God, what is his name? Martin Short and Steve Martin would do. It reminded me of something like that. It was so like it could be written off as either intentionally romantic or just kind of like a funny little mistake that happened. Either way, I was like, why are people making a big deal about this? If you don't know, it's just written off as something not comical, but it's just something else. It could be literally anything else. But that's just me. It was like when they had the guy when Madame de Garderobe. I'm sorry, I butchered that. Dressed up the three guys in awesome dresses, and the one really liked it. I was just like, you go. And it almost felt like an homage to past movies where that happened and stuff. I don't know. It felt more like homage than like make a big deal out of it. It felt like it could be almost written off a little bit for like comedic effect to lighten the moment, to give you some depth to the character. Like speculation. It didn't feel like it needed to be drawn out. Like people didn't need to make a big deal out of it like they did. That I felt was ridiculous. If they had done like a full on love scene and everything between like Lumiere and Cogsworth, yeah, I could have seen where people were coming from. Like we just don't need that in movies in general. Just if it's not, like I said, integral to the plot, we don't need it. And that would be the only like things. Like we don't need that. If it doesn't help the plot, develop the plot, any of that, we don't need that. But that's the only time I could see people getting upset about something like that. Two men dancing and one man enjoying being in a pretty dress. Like, oh no, so fucking terrible. Says the woman who dresses in drag regularly. for people to see and enjoy. Marilyn, I love it when Marilyn pulls Arthur out of bed. Oh God. Tell him if my family is. I'm sorry, Asher. That has to suck. Don't force things just here. Exactly, Wolf. We just gotta play these things by ear. Like in anime, where 90% of the women just kind of just aren't meant for the men. Just let the men have each other. What is the problem with this? Why is it a problem? I have yet to find why it is a problem. And these leaves turned out amazing. I feel like that was Hiccup was like tricked into that. I don't know why. It doesn't seem like something Hiccup would do on his own. It feels like what they did at his bachelor party. Like, oh, what is it? One of the Tough Nut or Rough Nut, I can't ever remember. Got Hiccup drunk enough and they convinced him to do it, and then he did it, and Asher's just like, you're an idiot. Somehow I feel like that's a very fitting thing for his character. Oh, wow. So, Asher, just so you can see, this is the bleed through. This is 2 pages worth of bleed through. It annoys the crap out of me when they try to force me. Yeah, it really does. Like, just let these things happen on their own. Like, for example, in How to Train Your Dragon, it's like, yeah, you could kind of tell they wanted to make Astrid and Hiccup endgame, but they didn't make it easy. I mean, they worked for that shit. Does I'm a friend and partner. That's awesome. I'm glad you have people. We all need people. I have people in my chat. That's what my people. I think I'm gonna stop there so I have something to do next. Well, thank you, Alicia. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I'm actually especially proud of how the leaves turned out because you can actually see the lines that I drew on them. I'm figuring it out as I go. This is a learning experience. I am figuring this out as I go. It's like you make it really dark and then you take it 2 shades lighter so you can see. Pretty awesome. I'm pretty proud of this. I don't know why I'm so proud of freaking lines on leaves, but I'm like, oh my god, I can see them. They look amazing. I am ridiculous. And I'm gonna leave that there. I love how it looks. I can't stop touching it. Trial and error. Yep, that is for sure. For sure. I really like having something to do on. Oh, thank you, Alicia. Anyone seen How to Train Your Dragon show? I mean, I watched it when I think it was on Nickelodeon. Question mark. I can't remember if it was Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, but I watched it. Parts of it. I thought it was pretty good. But again, they don't force the relationship. It just happens on its own, and it's not like they don't have their own obstacles and everything. It's just you kind of again you have the hint that they wanted it to be ending, but at the same time you're like, could go either way. Oh, the Netflix one. Oh man. If you want to, Alicia. I'm sorry, Rainbow. That sucks. Um, what'd you miss? This is how far I got in the picture. There are so many cute little things in this. I love it. Yes, thank you. I think we're gonna do this one like on October 1st or something. Whatever is the first Friday in October for the stream, I'll do this one. This is it's spooky time. I think that would be appropriate. Oh, yes, we are talking about how creators force storyline and then the subsequent relationships. It's a Tamagotchi. Like the pumpkin cute, right? Started going to church. Nice, Alicia. Oh my god. It's the Grim Reaper in a bowl of ramen. Oh my god, this is too cute. That is freaking precious and I love it. Talk about old school, right? That Tamagotchi though. Fortnite of the Apocalypse, we read the manga. Very much gay for each other. Three Below, Tales of Arcadia. I have not, but I haven't watched much lately. I love Gentleman Pumpkin. And it's got a little calcifer. I'll probably go like old school retro on the Tamagotchi one. Not gonna lie, I'll like look up some of them from the 90s, see what colors they were, and go for a combination of those. Gee, looks like it's a really nice one. Yes, yes, he does. I will call him Alfred. Okay. Sci-fi. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have one on my list. It's sci-fi esque. It's Time Patrol something. It looks interesting. I was watching. I need to finish. Probably will finish this week. Um, an anime called Onmyoji. I think I mentioned it before. I think those characters are gay, like bad, like so bad. They're like down so bad for each other. It's unbelievably gay. How many licks does it take to be the center of a soccer ball? I don't know. I'm scared to ask. Dragon. Oh, that show. I've considered it, but it's oh my god, time commitment, and then I don't know if it's age appropriate, so I don't know if I could have it around up around my daughter because she tends to. I mean, the stuff I watch is entertaining, apparently, to even a 4-year-old. Has been Hotel being a prime example. No, she did not watch the show. She has heard the song. She knows the names of the characters because she asks who's singing. And she has seen the cover of the album and the show, I guess, and I pointed out who's who to her. But she's not watched the show, but she asks to watch the show, and I have to tell her no, because the show is not appropriate for children. She does not like this answer, but is the only answer I can give her right now. Watching some weird shit on this show. Plus her. I know. And okay, here's how far we got. I mean, she is, like I said, she is not, my knowledge. I don't let her. Never watch the show. She knows who Charlie is, and she loves Charlie. I'm okay with her liking Charlie. Charlie is a badass. Charlie is a good character. I'm fine with her liking Charlie. She wants to be Charlie for Halloween, and she told me I need to be Charlie's mom. I'm like, I could rock a Lilith cosplay, and I already found one. I just need to purchase it. But I'm like, that's how far gone we are, where she wants to dress up. I'm like, bless you, child. You like cosplay. She doesn't fully know that you can do it outside of Halloween yet, but we're getting there. At least she's interested in dressing up as characters she sees on TV and stuff. I'm like, we're getting there. We're getting there. She's already into makeup. She's into hair. Now you just need to get into the cosplay part, and she should be set for a great career as a cosplayer. Can we lose? I don't know. Nah, beard. I'm too tall to be Lucifer. I'd rather rock Lilith. I think it'd be cool. Like, where I'm living now is so small. I wanted to see if anybody would even know what my daughter and I are dressed as. I think it would be. I think it would be great fun to see. Are you gonna let her watch Attack on Titan? Um, not till she's older. I mean, she's seen part of it because my sister watched it around her. It's like she doesn't think it's that bad. I'm like, I think it's not really appropriate for a 4 or 5 year old. Um, and she didn't see much of it. She was playing with her cousin in a different room, but she heard it. But I'd let her watch it when she's older. It's like, because when she's at the age where she can discern reality from fantasy in a way, because at that age they think it's kind of real, which isn't ideal, but it is the age. Melissa, you could enjoy the show I'm talking about at any age. There's no blood or gore on others fighting or okay. I'd have to see a couple episodes to know, because again, you can be deceived by how cute something looks. Look at Made in Abyss. Yeah, I had a feeling. Yeah, yeah. Again, I would let her watch Attack on Titan when she's older, much older. The Alistair. Everyone is Alistair. Everyone on YouTube dresses up as Alistair. I want to be slightly different, okay? Let me be different. Unless you're saying, and you're being honest with me, Wolf, that I would be a terrible Lilith, which you can absolutely say, and I would take that into consideration. I'm going to stick with the Lilith one because A, it's easier, and B, I really want to do it. But if you guys tell me I would be terrible as Lilith, just let me know. Be Demon Charlie. I don't know. My daughter really wants to be Charlie, and I don't know if she was very adamant that I be Charlie's mom. Like she wants me to be Charlie's mom, so I don't know. I don't really want to disappoint her, but if you think I would be crappy Lilith, I may consider something else. Yes, I'm trying to pull teeth, trying to get you people to admit it. Racians. Is that show with the dude who's kind of like a Mrs. Doubtfire-esque character? I was thinking, okay. One is gay and two about hell. That's the whole point of why I think Viv made it. So it's kind of, but then if you get at the point, it is the point of church and religion, which is redemption. They're in hell, but Charlie is working to redeem souls. She is technically doing God's work. So you can always pose that argument that she's technically doing God's work by trying to redeem sinners. There you go. There you go. If anybody argues anything about Hasbin being anti-religion, just go, no, Charlie is trying to redeem souls. You people in religion are trying to do the same thing. You're always talking about sinners and redeeming themselves. She's doing the same thing. She is literally doing God's work right there. She's doing God's work in hell. The daughter of Lucifer is doing God's work. I love it. Yeah. Never seen Charlie. Google Hasbin Hotel. The chick that pops up with big blonde hair and a nice red suit. That's Charlie. Oh yeah. Oh, Viv's already written it. It's already wrapped. So they're just waiting to release it. I'm like, can we release it this year? Because y'all release that faster than you do Hell of a Boss. Because Hell of a Boss was supposed to started last year, and she's like releasing it every 1 to 2 months, and it's supposed to wrap up by Christmas. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Viv, can we like go a little faster here? You've got 12 episodes. You could have had a whole year of Has Been in Hell of a. Why? Nerve. No, you're good. You're good. I was just thinking about. I'm like, no. People who argue about Hasbin being anti-religion just miss the point, just like they always do. It's not about hell. It's not about being sinners. It's about redeeming sinners. It is about redeeming sinners, which is always what religion is about. And the fact that they argue and say that it's anti-religion is bullshit. It's just I don't like the hypocrisy. I don't like. I learned because I went to Catholic school for several years. I learned that the biggest thing that Jesus apparently in the Bible, canon Jesus hates. I'm not talking fanon, which is the one that we deal with over here. I'm talking canon Jesus in the Bible hates hypocrites, right? I try to live my life as hypocritically free as possible. Doesn't always work, but I try. And I'm like, you people who are talking about Jesus and religion and loving everybody and all this shit just to go and hate on other people are fucking hypocrites, and Jesus hates you. Just from my experience, it's just like that's how it is. People need to remember that Jesus taught about love. Jesus was all about love. That was it. That is what it was. And the fact that nobody remembers that pisses me off. And then they say it's all this and it's all this hate. It's like, no, you're not the hate. You you're good. Nice. No, I want to do Helva and all that. I think it'll be fun. I don't know who I'd do from Helva. I have this great idea, but I'd need somebody to do it with. And I'd need an actual production. Like, I don't know, who would I be from Helva? We're gonna go with person who cast no. Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Ugh. Religion left a mad mark on all of us. I think except for Alicia. Sorry, Alicia. Alicia probably did. Sorry. But that's just my experience. Like, I'm not anti-religion. Like, everybody has their thing. I'm just like, I don't like how organized religion behaves. I find it very off-putting. I used to be very into church. I used to be very into religion. Now I'm like, I still have religion. I just acknowledge that there are others. I'm not as closed-minded about it. I don't hate. I don't um it's very different, my interpretation of religion. And I don't mean different like, oh, it's unique. It's like, it's different from organized religion. I don't believe I have to go to church to have religion. I don't believe I have to be part of one specific group to have it. Um just one of those things. I'm just like, I don't really like organized religion. It's just off-putting. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm like, I acknowledge multiple religions because even in the Bible it does. Yo, I know we're talking religion here, and I know we're not all the same beliefs, but I highly recommend this documentary on Netflix. Is about Moses, and I don't recommend it just because of the religion thing. I recommend it because, one, it's really well done, and two, it presents a lot of good arguments. I was very impressed with it. I loved it. It did a very good job of telling the full story of applying it to not just, the religious aspect, but like everyday aspects of, like, even people are like, we could just treat this as a myth. We don't have to treat it as anything else. It was really well done. I highly recommend it. Um, it was very well done, and I always love the story of Moses because I grew up with the Prince of Egypt movie. It was very inspiring. I wanted to put my brother in a basket down the river. That's what that movie did for me. I wanted to put my baby brother in a basket down the river. I think about it now. I'm like, there was something up with me. I know. See, we can all agree that this is a good movie. It's phenomenal. But yeah, I love the story of Moses, and it was inspired by Prince of Egypt. And Prince of Egypt is just like a phenomenal fucking movie, and I watch it several times. I actually introduced my daughter to it. She really enjoys it. Sea Moon's poor brother in a little homemade basket. It was not a homemade basket. It was the laundry basket. It was a laundry basket, and he was newborn. My mom didn't leave me alone with him. Be who you are, Asher. Be true to you. Don't be true to who people think you should be. I took that movie to school and we learned about the plague. Nice. I love it, Wolf. Do you blame? There were so much. No, I don't blame my mother for not leaving me alone because then, this is a story that she learned 5-ish years ago, something like that. My sister and I, we sent my brother. You guys are gonna think I'm insane. We put my brother in a laundry basket. He was not newborn. He was like 18 months, 2 years old. We put him in a laundry basket. We put this giant ass Dalmatian stuffed animal we had. We put that behind him. We sat him in the lap of the thing. Then we piled in more stuffed animals. And I can't remember who was at the top of the stairs and who was at the bottom of the stairs, but one of us was there. It was either my sister at the top or me, or my sister at the bottom or me, one of us. And we sent my brother sailing down the stairs. We let him go down the stairs. We put him in this basket. It was all padded. We were very safe. It was all padded. He was good. And we just pushed it downstairs. One of us caught it at the bottom, and one of us was in charge of it at the top. It was a very well thought out system. My mom didn't learn about it until like 5 years ago. She was horrified. And my dad's first words were, well, where were you? And she was like, I was probably outside mowing or something. They were fast. And I was like, I don't really remember where you were. It was just fun for me. Kind of. Yep. Nope. You're good, Rainbow. Yeah. Haven't met many people with a great experience at Christian schools. Telling me that's your friends. They are a lot calmer than I was. They don't come up with nearly as many devious ideas as I did. It's not even the Prince of Egypt isn't even Disney. It's DreamWorks. That's so sad and chaotic, but so funny. I know. And I mean, that wasn't the last time we did it. That was just the first time we did it. I don't know what possessed me other than it just worked. It just it just all aligned really well and it worked. So we did it. We also put him in a box full of stuffed animals and closed the box. I think we moved the box. Um, he suffered no brain damage or anything. He didn't hit his head. He didn't fall out. We were very careful. We weren't stupid. We were crazy. We weren't stupid. The one time we were mean was um it was old we were older. I think I was like 10. My sister was like 7 or 8. My brother was like 5, 6, something like that. And you know how if you have two people you can swing somebody, you can like grab their arms and somebody grabs your legs and you can swing. Well, my sister and I were doing that with my brother. And I'm sure y'all know where this is going. Um we we didn't say a fucking word. No words were spoken in the making this insanity. We just gave each other a look. And then we started and then after we gave each other a look, I said 3. She said 2. We said 1. We dropped my brother at the same time. I I laugh about it now. I mean, it was funny then. I laugh harder about it now than I did then. But it was and apparently I knocked the wind out of him. Know that. Know that for a minute because he didn't move. I thought maybe we killed him. I don't know. He didn't move right away. He still hates us for it. I'm like, we were older siblings. You kind of got dealt a shit hand by being born the youngest. Like anybody with older siblings knows you were dealt a shit hand. You can laugh unless you have a reason not to. Like it legitimately was funny. Like it's still funny now. My brother, he will talk about it, and he acts like it's the biggest betrayal this side of Caesar, and it's like, dude, we didn't kill you, we didn't hurt you. It was just a very impromptu planned thing. But legitimately, when we started out, we weren't gonna drop him. We had we didn't talk about it at all. We just shared a look, and then somehow the idea crossed both our minds at the same time, and we just went with it. Probably a very stupid idea. I don't know why. I seriously don't know what possessed this. Um, some of my favorite memories are when I would scare my siblings. Most of the time, like 99% of the time when I would scare my siblings, it was very unintentional. The 1% where I meant to is memorable. Believe me, my little brother, we have people pranks with me. Yep, that sounds about right. I'm the only child. I can't sympathize because I had younger siblings who also would prank me. Not as much because I knew I'd go after them and it would be a lot hard. It would be a lot meaner if I did it. Um, but I'd say consider yourself lucky. You didn't miss out. Older siblings are mean. That's why, yes, Wolf, the baby of the family. Wolf is literally the baby of her family, of her siblings. She's the youngest of 4. I would argue that I can't even say old. Like my mom and dad, my dad was an older brother, and my mom had an older brother. Apparently, older brothers are worse than older sisters, and I'm like, that sounds problematic. I'm glad I wasn't an older brother. I probably would have been a lot nastier. Just from the shit I've heard, my uncle did, and what my dad did to my uncles. It's like, at best uh, I was an older sister, not an older brother, or that I was the oldest. That was probably better. My favorite accidental scare was my brother was taking a shower. So in our house, the bathrooms were divided weird. You had like this, you had the door, then you had a hallway, like hallway-esque thing where the vanity was, like um, the sinks and everything. And then there was another door where the bathroom part was, like the toilet and the showers and everything. Okay. My mom had asked me to get something out of out of the vanity part of the bathroom. My brother was in the shower and he was supposed to have the door closed. So I knock. I did knock, and I didn't know if he'd heard me or not because I thought I heard him say, he's like, yeah. And I opened the door. I opened the door, and his girl let out a blood curdling scream. And I mean, like, it was loud, it was long, and I was trying not to laugh. I'm standing there. I barely had the door open. I maybe like the gap this big, and he heard it, and and I'm dying. I'm laughing so hard I can't even speak. And I come to my mom. She's like, "What did you do?" And I'm like, "I did nothing. I opened a door." My brother comes flying out of that bathroom, still soaking wet. Like we had a towel on. He's like, "That wasn't funny. How could you do that to me?" And I'm like, "I didn't do anything to you." He's like, "My greatest fear is being murdered in the shower. You knew that." I'm like, "I did not know that your greatest fear was being murdered while you're naked in the shower. Like, what the fuck?" Like, legitimate fear, but what the fuck? I didn't know. Everybody thought I knew. Everybody thought I had planned it because they know I sometimes like to try to scare people, and they just it was not planned. It was in completely impromptu thing. Like I didn't even intend for him to be scared. I did not. I did not. And he just was like, nope, nope. He just lost it. It was still funny. Oh no, my AirPods are dead. I think that is my signal that I need to go. I will leave you with tales of my disastrous childhood. Well, the one about me scaring my brother was not childhood. I was like 18. It's terrible. Yes, there's been many times, Rainbow. We can discuss that next week, actually. Thank you guys for tuning into the Hangout. Check out the channel Instagram. Just look up Moonsword1994. Consider joining the Patreon. I've changed all the tiers. I've changed all the rewards. It's pretty awesome. And, well, I'm glad. Ashley. Does he still blame me? Yes. 100% Alicia, he still blames me. But check everything out. And I have a couple videos coming out soon. And I will see you on the next Hangout. Bye-bye, everybody.